One of the things that strikes people the most when they come to Costa Rica is the natural beauty and the friendliness of its people. That's what inspired us when we opened Horizontes back in 1984. When we started Horizontes, my partner Margarita and I were very young. We were very adventurous and determined to explore every single inch of this beautiful land. We never imagined that Costa Rica would become the world-class destination that it is today. The early years were very exciting. Not only did we discover new places to go and new activities to do, but also soon we realized that this type of tourism was very beneficial to our country. The tourists that came were highly educated, and they traveled to rural areas that soon were benefited by their visit economically. But also these Costa Ricans in these places were interested and curious to see what attracted the visitor, and they also became interested in learning more about nature, which eventually led them to become nature lovers themselves. When we realized all these benefits, we started becoming advocates for this type of tourism that was first known as nature tourism or natural history tourism, and soon was coined with the term ecotourism in the late 80s. And part of our years in those last part of the 80s was spent talking about it to all kinds of people at conferences, to journalists, to investors, to politicians, and show them all the benefits that these new type of tourism had and how democratic it was and how the influx of foreign income was benefiting our country in some of the most remote areas. One of the things we've enjoyed the most through these years is the creativity and innovation that nature allows us to develop and apply. And so not only did we have nature lovers, in general nature tourists, but also birders and orchid lovers and people interested in tropical agriculture, sustainable agriculture, people wanting to visit rural communities, photographers, gardeners, and painters who come here and paint our landscapes. As the years passed, we realized that we needed to give back to the wildlands that were sustaining our business, and we sought many ways to help out and to give back to these wildlands, helping in conservation organizations, fundraising, and also scholarships for young Costa Rican students, as well as guide training and many other ways in national parks with park rangers, trail maintenance, and building new trails and new infrastructure in our national parks. And in that way we felt that we could be helping this type of travel to continue growing. But with growth comes responsibility, and we realized that participating in conservation efforts was no longer enough. We had to work on lowering our impact and making sure that our culture wasn't lost. We developed environmental policies internally and started a green committee and recycling and a series of other internal ways of lowering that impact. But we realized that wasn't enough. We couldn't do it by ourselves. So we started spreading out the message, and this was done the first time at Expo Tour, which is our local trade show, where we did a stand which was just a statement on sustainability and why we needed to do a series of efforts, such as no more use of woods that came outside of plantations, the use or the need of fair trade or certified agricultural products, or even organic if possible. We needed to learn more about how to do it. What are the best practices or the good practices that our businesses need to develop to be more environmentally friendly. And this is where Rainforest Alliance came in perfectly in offering a series of seminars that we did with about 99 of our tourist colleagues, tourist companies in Costa Rica, to educate ourselves on how to do that precisely. If we want tourism to continue benefiting Costa Rica, we need to research on how to do things better, how to use technology that can be less harmful to the environment, what biodegradable products can be used, how to manage our waste, how to make better use of water, how to educate ourselves in having less impact, how to build in a greener way. We hope that when our visitors leave Costa Rica, they not only take home the natural beauty and the friendliness of our people, but also a new way of seeing our planet and their place in the natural world.
Well, it has far exceeded our expectations. Both my husband and I have talked about that practically daily, about how much we have learned and the new things we have seen and the surprises. It's just been a fabulous experience.
We've learned about so many of the experiments that science is doing here, and it's going to help the whole world as well as your country of Costa Rica.
And we hope we can take some of this back and possibly use it in our own country.
And we'll be sharing this with all the folks that we know back home.